Hello, welcome to my channel. This week I will be doing a simple woodworking project, a small tray that will fit inside a drawer in the kitchen where I will store all my silverware. So stick around and I hope you'll enjoy watching the next few minutes of this build. I decided to start by measuring the inside parts of the drawer. And I'm using a piece of 1x6 select pine to complete this project. Here at the radial arm saw, I'm cutting my boards to rough length. Then over at the table saw, I raise my blade and I start to rip my boards to the height in order for the tray to sit inside the drawer.
Just a little bit more and go for the second screw. Needler here, if you like.
Then I raised my blade and started setting my saw in order to resaw the boards. I wanted to double up on my feather board, but the old Rockler feather board that I had just did not fit with the Craig one. So I just used what I did before. You'll see that as I'm resawing this board, there's a little bit of sparkle at the end of the cut, and that is because there's a brad nail inside the push stick when I made it. And there it is. Luckily there's no excess of sawdust, so I couldn't start a fire or anything like that. Now over at the radial arm saw, I set up a stop block and where I'm cross-cutting my boards to length. This is a very simple box joint jig. There's plenty of channels that have covered the make of this and how to use it, and I recommend Steve Ramsey's version. I chose to use box joints because I just think they look nice, and although they might be covered while in the drawer, it's a pretty strong bond, and here they are. I'm just marking the locations of my dados where my inner walls will sit in. first few cuts. Then I decided to go back to the radial arm saw because there's just something about doing crosscuts or dados. So much easier, and you can really sneak up on a cut and trim as much as you want. There's my rabbit. So I'm just continuing to mark out all my dados for all the mending pieces. And then I'm trimming my inside wall to length. I just used the extension table of my table saw in order to assemble this box. Here I'm being careful to apply enough glue, since that is the only way I'm putting this together. At this point, I'm not really concerned with everything being square, since all of that will be resolved when I'll align the bottom on the final glue up. I'm just making sure to wipe off all excess glue with a damp rag. And it's time to switch back to my regular blade in order to cut the bottom of the silverware tray. I'm applying glue to all of the bottom edges of the carcass. I'm just using my old table saw extension wing to have a flat surface in order to press on, and I just let it sit till next day. A little bit of sanding in order to even out some spots, and a little bit of shaping in the corners. I kind of like it when it's a little rounded rather than too square. I'm using 220 grit sandpaper in order to sand the entire box inside and outside. And a little bit of mineral spirits on a shop towel just to remove all the excess sawdust. I'm using shellac in order to finish this project. It's probably the easiest to apply and it smells quite nice too. Now it's time to swap everything out and put the new tray in. And it fits quite nicely. As you can see, I have plenty of room, and I'm making use of the back part of the drawer where I had no tray before. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to reading your comments. I urge you to enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next week.